Hi, I'm Jeremy Crosby.
And I'm Nick Boucher. We're your hosts for the program that's all about your city, Talking Fitchburg.
Every weekday, we pull together the news, events, and information you need to stay on top of what's happening in the city of Fitchburg.
Find Talking Fitchburg on cable TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and our live stream on the web. Plus, you can find all our headlines and stories on Facebook, YouTube, and our video on demand service. This is your city.
Keep up with Talking Fitchburg and the issues affecting you and your neighbors.
Get connected, Fitchburg. We're launching Fitchburg Connect, the city's new monthly e-newsletter that keeps you informed about all the events, services, and updates that matter to you. Get it in your inbox once a month. Sign up today to get Fitchburg Connect.
Okay, it's March 12th, 2026, and this is a meeting of the Tree Advisory Committee. The time is 4:04. Let's call this meeting to order. I see that we have a quorum in case we're voting on anything. First thing is to approve the minutes from last time. Is there any motion to approve?
I'll move that, of approval of the minutes.
Anyone want a second?
I'll second.
Vote to approve the minutes. Everyone say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? No. Minutes from last time have been approved. I don't think there's going to be any public appearances for non-agenda items, so we'll skip over that. As far as the agenda goes for tonight, I think there are only 2 items on it. Does anyone want to make a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
I move we approve it.
Okay. Second. All voting to approve the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Agenda is approved. Okay, so the agenda items for tonight, the first one up is the strategic management, what is the name?
Yeah. Strategic management
plan. What do we need to discuss on that? Are we voting to approve it? Or?
No, so I guess the discussion point is this the version of the document? I did pass your comments on to Rich. Is this the version of the document? We can maybe make some edits that we pass to Rich, but is this what we want to get, what we want to refer out and eventually vote on? So that's the point of today's meeting. Do we want to make different changes to it? If we're going to get it on that April 28th council meeting, I have to have it to the clerks by Monday, actually Tuesday, but so we just need to discuss, like, hey, is this where we want it? Are there things that we don't, are there things we want taken out, additions, subtractions, that sort of thing? And like I said, I did get comments from Sue, which I did forward to Rich, I think yesterday or the day before.
He can, take them or leave them, I guess, and I don't care anymore.
Okay, fair enough. fair enough.
Enough times reading this, right?
And I think that was mostly about the mechanics, right, of writing and not the content?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. All mechanics.
Okay,
Good to know.
all right. I mean, to me, the meat of the plan here are the goals and objectives. It's kind of nice to have all of this background and the history and all those sorts of things. The thing that's going to get referred to the most moving forward is going to be the prescribed actions that this plan takes, which are a little further down here. And it's nice to have all the inventory information too. And that was actually one of the things that came out of this plan is our inventory at the time that this was written was 100% up to date, which it's never been. So that was really quite great. And so this spring, I'll obviously get the new trees put in that we plant this spring, and then it'll be up to date again, which will be Wonderful.
Okay, so it starts on 34.
Thank you. The goals and objectives.
Mhm.
Okay,
And the strategic recommendations.
yes. So this is the meat of it. This is what we should really be thinking about. Here we go, the strategic recommendations. This is what we really need to think about, like priority 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if we're fine with these, the big goals here and the objectives, I don't know that there's a whole lot more to talk about. We've been through this quite a bit, and we have changes. We've kind of massaged them a little bit recently, but these have been standing for most of our discussion. We haven't really changed these too much.
Yeah.
So, so I don't know if anyone has any comments on these or anything they want to see different, and it's much better for all your input. So thank you very much for taking a look at it. And I know some of you have really talked about how just the diction and the presentation and everything along with the meat of it, which has been very helpful. So thank you for all of that input. And the policy, the effort, the priority, that was kind of something that you guys kind of came up with, which is great. So so I guess my big question to you would be, are we fine referring this out, knowing that this is what's going to shape the urban forestry program for the next 5 years, or do we want to take another look at it, or how are people feeling?
How are you feeling?
That's exactly what I was gonna
Yeah,
ask.
well, thanks for asking. I think it's good. I think it's good. It's we've never done this before, so it's an interesting exercise to kind of think about. It was a really big exercise to kind of look at what do you have. That was huge, and in doing that, like, what do you have, and then we get it to Rich, and he'd be like, well, how about and he would bring up different things, like, how about all your ordinances? Okay, great. How about all your policies? How about like all these different things? So it's really good to kind of do that inventory of what we have, not just the inventory itself, but like all of the the tree policies and also culture, if that makes sense. The SWOT analysis, the threats and challenges and all of that as well, and kind of how would we like to manage things, and how are we managing them now? That was a really good exercise to go through, and did bring up some some staffing issues among other things. So I feel really good about it, to be honest. And I think that we've had really decent public engagement. It'd always be nice to get more, but we did a fair. Especially for $25,000, we did a tremendous amount of public engagement. This is a grant, and so I was doing the match. 22 staff people put time into this, which is really exceptional, and then a bunch of people around this table put time into it, which we all used on the match, which was really quite extraordinary. And it's just like the match list is like, it's and I think it's well over $42,000 worth of staff time that went into this. So it's really, when you add up all the hours, which is quite significant. And then all of our trucks driving around, taking surveys here and there, and putting up all the flyers for this and that, and getting everything set up for Southdale Resource Fair and for community night out and all those things. So it was quite a significant effort, and it was a good effort for us to go through, and it was good to raise the awareness of forestry even within the city, in terms of within public works, even within parks to some degree. So for example, that chapter 54 that basically outlines what the city forester should be doing, that was not a known thing to a lot of people who work with trees and work within our department or our division. So it was good. It was a good exercise to go through. So yes, I'm feeling good about it, and I think if we are able to do these things, we really will, take our urban forestry program to the next level, which would be really great.
I have a couple comments
Sure,
or
yes.
questions. Can you scroll down to the bottom of the list, where that little grid is?
Yes.
So this is I asked for this.
Yes.
I probably didn't explain myself what I really wanted from him as much. So what really is helpful for us is if we were to put like each objective in the first column, and then to have columns for priority, effort, and cost. Like that is super helpful, because I think there's something like it in the bike and ped plan.
Okay.
So it's super helpful for like, if we're at budget time and I'm looking at this plan as like the member of this committee, to say like, these are the things in the highest priority, this is what we could maybe accomplish, like we can maybe check one of these things off for a low cost or a low effort, and like that would be super helpful. I'm not gonna like hold up this plan if that doesn't get done, because like I can also just read the list, but that would be really helpful.
So you're saying instead of having the action items listed by 1.1, like to actually have them?
Yeah, so like the first column would be each objective. And you don't even need to list the wording, just like objective, 5.1, 5.2, whatever, we can cross-reference. And then, yeah, to have like then an additional column for the priority that we set. And then effort and cost is really helpful.
Okay.
Because there are just, all these plans have 100 things that we would like to do and like millions of dollars that we could spend on them if we accomplished every objective. And so to be able to look at it and say like, this is what we actually can accomplish at like a brief glance is really helpful.
Yeah. And kind of a bang for buck perspective.
Yeah. I have a couple just like worded things that I can send to him that we don't need to talk about. The one thing, I think someone brought something up once. There is a part where it talks about staff and like how we benchmark to other areas. And it says like, one of the benchmarks is like, have an arborist. And it says like, yes, we have an arborist, we have you. And then the next one down says like, have an active, it says something similar to have an arborist, and then it says, no, we don't have one.
Yeah.
Because like, you are like the forestry manager, you're not like a full-time out there being the arborist for the city. And it's really confusing to say like, yes, we have an arborist, and then like the next line down, it says like, no, we don't have an arborist. So I'll take a screenshot of it or whatever, and like, I think maybe just like the wording of it, like a full-time something or other, like.
Yeah, I mean, basically what that's saying is the people doing the work are not arborists.
Right, yeah.
I think that's on page 39, it looks like. There's staff responsible for trees.
Yeah.
At least I'm guessing that might be what you're referring to.
That is, yes.
Yes, I think I might be in the wrong spot here.
Oh, there's different page numbers.
So 39 of the plan or 39 of the
33 of the
packet?
plan, 39 of the packet,
Okay.
I think.
All
Because I
right.
have 33.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at it,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
looking at
that's-
my notes, so that would make
Yeah,
sense.
I was looking at the packet numbering.
Yeah, just thank you.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, so here, this is,
So like, yeah, so staff qualification, 60% of them had a certified arborist on staff. And then staff responsible for trees and arborist forest are located in the department, and it says we don't have that. And so it's like,
yeah, right, okay.
and I totally understand what they're saying, but
Right,
that's,
it can be confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
and then my only other question, and I can email Rich about this, because he's the one that has data, is whether he got like his new financial data, because I think he's still like inflation adjusted, and that's kind of my thing I'm gonna pick on every
Yeah.
time, because I just don't think that that's an accurate.
I agree.
Even if we, and I'm not gonna hold up the plan for this, but even if we, I think it would be even more accurate to just like look at Sun Prairie and Middleton and Verona as comparisons, rather than like try to inflation adjust data from 2015.
Right, I agree,
And say like, just compare ourselves to them and see what they do.
right.
So I'll put this together and shoot an email.
That would be awesome, thank you. Does anyone else, so great feedback, and I appreciate the email, we'll get it to Rich, and I have a call with him tomorrow, so we'll go over this. Does anyone else have anything that they want to see in here or not, or what?
I just want to say for the record that I'm very disappointed with the quality of the writing. I think that it's very unclear in places and it would have been benefited from a professional editor. But assuming you're satisfied with the content of it, then, I think that's the best we're gonna do.
And I think part of it is just the, I think Rich is, he's an excellent writer, obviously, from academic perspective, and
I would argue not.
fair enough,
I would
okay,
agree.
okay, fair enough. All right, anything else that people wanna talk about or comment? Okay, and realize like this is something that we've been trying to do for a long time, so it's nice that we finally have the document, and moving forward, it just, goes, this is like the first one, so it just gets better from here, right?
Right, and I know that's what I mean, that was the basis of a lot of my input were the things that we've been working on and snags that happened along the way, and that I was looking for some resolution for that, and for the most part, I think that's true. So,
Excellent. Okay.
So do we have to make a motion or anything, or?
I don't think so. I mean, this is just really, discussion / review,
Okay,
and then once we get these changes done, I mean, this is basically gonna be the referral copy, but I will try to get these things changed, and even if we don't, like, I can say, because I need to have it to the clerk so they can get it in the packet and things of that nature. Even if we end up changing some things, we could say, like, when it comes back, like, hey, we could say, we're gonna do an amendment, the amendments we just talked about, and then it would get in there that way.
well, I was thinking, I didn't hear everything that Micah said, but it sounded like, is that something that would be rewritten in what we have, or would that be a standalone?
No, it changed the document,
Okay,
so.
I wondered if it could be either or.
I think it should be in the document, otherwise it's gonna be confusing.
It can be in there, and there are some of the changes, even if, so we'll refer this out probably at the next council meeting, and even then, what generally happens with these is if there's like minor edits, when we pass it at council, we basically direct staff to make minor edits before it's published, and that's kind of allows us to go in and like if things are found or whatever, we can do that.
Sounds good.
All right,
All right, are we ready to move on to the next agenda item then?
feels like a big day, right?
Yeah, it is a big day.
To some extent, I don't know.
It is a big day.
Yes, just confirming procedurally, we don't need a vote to like refer it on? Okay.
No, I'll get it to the clerks on, well, really Tuesday, but hopefully maybe, Monday might be a crazy day, so Monday or Tuesday I'll get it to the clerks, and then we'll get it on the agenda and kind of go from there
And we'll officially vote at the April meeting.
and make amendments as desired. So, yeah, and so this is the budget, this is what you were talking about, Micah, that is the,
Yes.
yes, okay. And, right, okay,
Is that what you were concerned about? So you had mentioned an issue with budget.
No, not specifically, no. Thanks for asking.
All right.
all right, fair enough. Well, this has been a big effort. It's taken a lot of time, which is, I guess, both good and bad. And I'm grateful that we went through the process. And it was really good to kind of get out and do all of the outreach and, do the survey and all those sorts of things that really helped make this plan better. All right, and what is our next agenda item?
Arbor Day
Yay,
and Earth Day.
best days of the year, right?
All the way down on page 89 of the document, so.
Okay, awesome.
Second on this page.
All right. Oh, and the other thing is, so if you want to, so this is, so Rich I did include in this, why he, the input that he incorporated and how he dealt with that. So there is that document that's also part of your packet if you want to see like input that was, he took in and how he changed the document and the reasons for that. All right, so this is Arbor Day. I don't know how to make this a little bit smaller, but at any rate, this is, there we go. So this is Arbor Day. It's going to be April 25th in Western Hills Park. And so we are in the Hugo Jamestown neighborhood again because of the IRA grant. So we'll be working with Urban Tree Alliance again. And I haven't had the time to get up there and spec out what exactly we're gonna do. But we did take down quite a few ash trees in that park, and there were quite a few trees damaged by weather and just who knows what. So we're gonna be replacing, those trees have already been removed, I believe. I should double check that. Anyway, so we're gonna be replacing trees that were infested with emerald ash borer, and also just trees that needed to go and needed to be replaced. I don't know how many, between 6 and 10 probably, so it's not gonna be a huge planting. But because we have so much going on this winter, we're kind of taking a little bit of a breather on the Arbor Day efforts and just doing one day on that Saturday, April 25th. And Urban Tree Lines will provide the trees through the IRA grant. I do need to, like, by tomorrow, get them the species that we're gonna do, which I can do, but we'd love to see people there. And it's not gonna be, like I said, this huge event like we've done in the past. It's gonna be a little bit lower key, and we'll get the trees planted, and Operation Fresh Start will water them all summer, so that'll be good.
That's great.
And there won't be any cost to the city for this project because it's all gonna get paid for through that IRA grant. Which is always nice. So then
How many trees are you gonna plant?
between 6 and 8, or maybe 10. I need to look and see kind of what's all there, and what's the best thing to do. So not like last year, not a tremendous number. It's gonna be a scaled down event.
I can be there.
You're awesome, Linda.
I should be able to too.
Okay. Hopefully we'll get good weather.
Is this the last year that grant's available?
Well, so you bring up an excellent point. So in theory, it was a 3-year project, and then certain people said they made a big deal about like cutting that funding, but we still got our money last year. So this year we're kind of chugging along, and in theory we'll get it again. I don't know. So I can't answer that. Like, I mean, last year we kind of stepped on the gas and just did all this tree planting in Southdale and in Maple Lawn Heights and in Hugo Jamestown, and it was great. You know, we got all that done, and that grant paid for all those trees. It'll pay for this, and we're gonna be finishing off Traceway. We're gonna be finishing off Maple Lawn Heights, and we're gonna be doing King James this spring with that money. So,
I mean, that's the answer to any sort of federal funding right now, is who knows?
Right.
Once it hits your bank account, then you know you have it.
right,
basically, yeah.
it's just a little bizarre because certain politicians made a big deal about canceling this particular grant, but we still took the money. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I wish I knew the answer to that, but we're not counting on it. But maybe,
Sure, okay.
maybe, I don't know. It's just like, anyway, how it goes. But so anyway, so that's Arbor Day. Earth Day is probably going to be the Friday before this. We are going to be doing a project in Chicory, and we'll have volunteers from DNR at that. And so, I mean, if people want to come, that's fine. I think we'll be covered. That is being paid for by a grant from the Million Trees grant from Alliant Energy. So, and then we'll have also, you know, tree planting money we could spend there that we're not spending, you know, on Arbor Day in general. So, so we're probably going to be putting quite a few trees in at Chicory Meadows. I think it's 20 something, so it's a little bit of a bigger day. But we will have volunteers from DNR to come in and do that, among other people, among other general public if they want to come.
So is that the day before?
I think
or the week before?
No, it's April 24th.
Okay.
Earth Day is April 22nd, which is I think it's that Wednesday, but we're still trying, I didn't make a poster for it because we're still setting the date with DNR. So they still need to kind of get their ducks in a row, and we need to get our ducks in a row as well. So this has been relatively recent that we started talking about this. So at any rate, so that's kind of a lowdown with Earth Day / Arbor Day. We'd love to see you come out and plant trees. Like I said, it's a little bit of a scaled down version because we've been so busy with the plan, and then we have a few contracts going on this winter that have been a fair bit of work to make sure they're happening. So anyway, so we've got a fair bit going.
Okay, are we ready to move on to the next item, which is maybe the report from the department?
Yeah. So, report. So in February, I think you know, we got the Gold Leaf Award for our work last year in Hugo Jamestown. So thank you for everyone who contributed to that. That's really great. It's from the International Society of Arboriculture. It's actually upstairs on my desk, and I think we're going to do something at council at some point. I haven't been able to think that far ahead, but anyway, so we'll hopefully do something with that. And like I said, so like you guys know, I'm in Public Works now, which is it's fine, but it's just kind of an interesting change. And so it's the Parks Department is no more. And we did receive that the Million Trees grant in February, which was great. So that's, we got $3,500 to plant trees in Chicory Meadows. We did write it for a little bit more than that to also put trees in the dog park, but they didn't fund that part. They just funded Chicory. So that's how it goes. We did get our spring tree planting bids back. We are doing 363 trees. And they came in at $225 a tree, which is on average, which is less than we paid last year. So, and we've worked with this contractor before, and he's very good. So, so all I can say is okay, you know. And I keep thinking we're going to end up paying more for trees moving forward, but we really haven't seen a big change in the price we're paying for trees in the last couple of years. So that's actually good. It's one of the few things that's holding steady. So we'll take it.
I'll take what I can get.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's about, we're doing a lot of ash replacements this spring. It's about half new development, half ash replacements. So,
Is this from the town of Madison?
for ash replacements, it's mostly, we did most of that last year.
Okay.
There's a few in the town of Madison, but they're not on this project. There's a few left, but not many. Most of this is Swan Creek, Corey Hill, and Highlands of Seminole. Those three neighborhoods that had a lot of ash trees, and they were all infested. They were trees we tried to treat during the drought in '23, and we just could not get ahead of the borer. So
So the council designated extra funds for that,
they did.
correct? Yeah, so
They did.
to do it all in time.
They did. So that will be happening here in hopefully a month or two. What are we in? Probably 6 weeks, I would say. The other thing, like I said, you know, we found out in February that IRA grant's moving forward, so we will plant, like I'd mentioned, we'll finish Maple Lawn Heights. There's a few trees in Southdale, maybe, but probably not. And we'll do Traceway and Hugo Jamestown and anywhere else we can put trees within those neighborhoods. So that's another good thing happening.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's a lot going on behind the scenes. Does anyone have any questions?
Sounds good. Okay, next item would, I'll just ask if there are any announcements.
So I would say, just to keep an eye, so if you wanna come, so we'll have that Arbor Day proclamation at that April 28th council meeting, and it will happen right away. Is council at 6:30 these days?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So it'll happen right away at 6:30, so if you wanna come to that April 28th council meeting for the Arbor Day proclamation, feel free to do so. Someone's gotta be there from this committee to get that proclamation. It can be anybody. And then that's also the night the plan will be on the council agenda if people wanna make comments about it. And also that's when tree planting will be on the agenda. We're kind of doing all the tree stuff, hopefully in one meeting. So it's pretty easy for folks to participate if they care to. So that's just one thing to keep in mind for announcements.
Yeah, that's good to get out in minutes too.
Or is it April 24th? It's not 28th, it's 24th, right?
It is.
Oh, hi. Yes, hi.
Yeah,
How are you?
The 24th.
Sorry, I misspoke. It's not the 28th, it's the 24th. I don't,
Okay,
I'm sorry, it's the 24th, which is a Tuesday, no, Tuesday, April 24th.
Wait, nope, you're right, 28th.
It is, really?
Sorry, it's March 24th
Okay,
and April 28th.
And April 28th is the tree day.
Yes.
Okay.
And yeah,
so we're doing,
April 28th. And you're right, we do proclamations first. So if you want to come for that, it's super easy. You don't have to wait for 4 hours for
So-
us to get to the.
What's on March 24th?
Yeah, March 24th is when we will refer out the tree advisory, or the forestry management plan.
Okay,
And then it will likely come
You
back for a vote at council on April 28th.
8th, okay, so that's actually after Arbor Day, but maybe that's okay.
When's
Shoot.
Arbor Day?
Arbor Day's the 24th,
Well, that's the closest.
That's the
we usually
closest
do the
council.
28th, yeah.
yeah,
I mean, you can do the 14th, but if you're gonna do the plan on the 28th, that's a good, put everything
together,
together, yeah.
okay, that's fine. Yeah, I guess because April 7th that's pretty late in the second, yes, okay. All right, that's fine, that'll work out.
Would you summarize that again?
Okay, so the Arbor Day proclamation, I'll have to think about this, maybe we should do that on the 14th, because that might be actually good to do, because Arbor Day is the last Friday in April, which is the 24th. So we're gonna do an Earth Day planting that week, probably on that 24th, and we're gonna do Arbor Day on the 25th. So to have the proclamation on the 20th doesn't make a ton of sense, so I might see if I can move it to the 14th.
Okay.
That makes sense.
And the management plan?
Would be the 28th.
Okay.
I was trying to do it all at once, but that might not be the
Okay.
smartest thing to do.
So March 14th, Arbor Day, and April 28th, then Forest Management Plan.
All right. Because usually just the way the calendar falls, that second council meeting in April is right before Arbor Day, but this year it's not, it's right after. Okay, well, that's good that we talked about this. Anyway, so those are the announcements. And so in our next meeting then, we'll be voting on, which is, our next meeting is,
April 7th.
April, okay, thank you. April
Nope.
7th, is it?
9th.
9th, okay. We'll be voting on the plan and tree planting, hopefully. So that'll be an important meeting to attend. Yeah, you already told me.
I'm not here.
Okay, fair enough. So, a little pressure on everyone else. So we have quorum.
Yeah,
Need a quorum.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah,
All
okay,
right.
good.
All right.
Brandy will be back too, maybe she'll be
Yeah,
there.
she told me she would go.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Should be fine then.
Any other announcements?
I have a question.
Yes.
I realized I have not received a Fitchburg star in a long time. Is something going on with that, or am I?
Oh, that's right, I haven't either.
It used to be every 2 weeks,
I don't know.
and I haven't.
Let's talk after the.
I'm
We
sorry.
can do the, let's, I can tell you some about
Okay,
that after.
okay.
Why don't we do the meeting?
Tell
and
us
then-
something
yeah, yeah.
later. Okay.
Put a pin in that, I think is what you said.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Put a
And
pin in
after,
that.
yeah, we'll-
Okay. Just curious.
Okay.
Okay, then if there's nothing else to discuss, shall we adjourn? Anybody want to make a,
Move to adjourn.
I'll second.
all in favor of adjourning, say